there's a group of fireworks hotshots who call themselves GFA Pyro.
In this business, you need to take some risk.
You get addicted to it.
They're a small company. To be number one, they're going to have to blow away the competition.
Man, this is insane.
One explosion at a time. This time on Pyros, Phil and Eric tangle with a rowdy crew from Oz.
They're kids, I'm joking around always.
Arming a 1.5 kilometer bridge.
We are escorted by guys with machine guns.
And the boys get themselves into another tight spot back in Mexico.
Do I hit this building or do I hit this building?
First time in Istanbul for me. I think something for you.
First time.
Philippe and Eric are strangers in a strange land.
Wow, it's stunning. Istanbul is like kind of a mythical city with such a history.
The Pyro boys from Montreal are in Turkey to help a squad of hotshot Aussies tackle fireworks for the country's biggest bash, Republic Day.
We're heading to meet Fortunato Foti of the Foti fireworks family.
Fortunato Foti is a pyro heavyweight.
If you're going to be in this industry, you've got to have a passion for it.
Forge is famous for lighting up the Sydney Harbour Bridge every year. The show here is even bigger, launching from boats, barges, and a bridge that joins two continents. Forge needs help from go-to veterans like Philippe and Eric to set up this huge show.
They obviously know what they're doing. They've been doing it for a long time themselves. And it's always good to have a couple extra hands to help on such a big job.
Does everyone actually know each other? Has everyone met the new crew here, local Canadians? No?
Felt a little uncomfortable this morning, you know, when you meet a new crew.
If you haven't introduced yourself to each other, please do.
Phil and I have a lot of experience with fireworks, but it's just a question of how to integrate the team, you know, and be part of the team.
Eric and Philippe are used to calling the shots back in Canada. But here, they're the newbies.
We cannot screw up. That's not even a possibility.
All right, let's do it.
It's just 3 days to one of the world's biggest pyro spectacles.
Holy.
But the 7,000 shells they need are a big mess. Stockpiled from last year's show, which was canceled after a 7.2 magnitude earthquake.
Yeah, it looks like this stuff been moved around a few times.
They moved it many times.
Obviously, we've got a bit of sorting out to do before we can start doing anything.
There's a big setup ahead. They've got to get 7,000 shells locked and loaded on 8 barges, 8 boats, and the 1.5 kilometer long Bosphorus Bridge.
Bring us 11 threes, 10 fours, 12 fives, 11 sixes.
The boys have their work cut out for them.
I like this.
But it's going to take more than swinging a nail gun
This feels very manly.
to impress the Aussies.
Imagine that, yeah. Get the nail gun, boys.
Eric and Philippe aren't the only GFA boys feeling out of place.
Those police are not super smiling. Being escorted by a police truck with a machine gun, it was strange for me. It was intimidating.
Sebastian, along with Benoit and Mathieu, are in Mexico, heading to the interior city of Guanajuato with some dangerous cargo.
This is the truck full of pyro. do this.
They're back working with Jorge Marquez,
Es que hay que ponerle 2 tornillos.
their old friend, and one of Mexico's top pyros.
Super bueno. He's a really cool guy. He's super nice. He's a relaxed.
Here, everything is cool all the time. But we are escorted by guys with machine guns.
Jorge is in charge of the fireworks for El Cervantino, a world-famous festival in its 40th year.
Festival Cervantinos has performances from singers, dancers. It's a cultural festival.
But here, the fireworks demand top security. So thousands of explosives don't fall into the hands of Mexico's notorious drug cartels.
Jorge told us you cannot go with a truck of explosives in this town without being escorted.
There are 2 firing sites, connected by Wi-Fi to a firing board near the concert stage. One site is in the city center, the other here on the hillside. But there's a problem.
Just really close to the antenna.
You have plenty of cable supporting the antenna. For me, there's no room for shooting there.
It's not a place to shoot some shells. Maybe we have to be behind of this.
The last thing we wanted to do is to hit the telecommunication antenna, you know?
Mismo si estamos al lado de la antena?
No. He said, no. No problem, no problema.
¿Y tú no tienes fe que la bomba, la explosión puede...? No. ¿No? No hay ningún problema. La bomba...
I'm not totally in peace with this setup, but...
What can we do? It's their show.
Benoit stumbles onto a nasty little surprise. 2 unexploded bombs from a previous show, with their electric matches still attached.
It's an electric match for sure here.
The danger is these things can be explode on your face.
Marco!
My way to work, those things cannot happen. That's the way they work like that over there, so.
Okay, no corta mis cojones, okay?
They'll need every bit of their cojones, because there are even more Mexican problemas when they set up downtown.
Where do we put the bombs?
Do I hit this building or do I hit this building?
It's day 2 of the colossal installation in Istanbul.
Put here.
Eric and Philippe hustle to keep up with the young crew.
10 barrels, 6 inch.
Yeah, I had a good night's sleep last night, but I'm still tired, you know. It's a pretty physical day, so.
The leader of the Brat Pack is Jonathan Tyler, known as Jono.
Because he loves it when you call him Big Papa. Throw your hands in the air if you're a true player.
He's one of Forge's top pyros.
My badge! What's more important than yours?
He's also the joker of the bunch.
I'm calling her! Come over here!
Jono's 2 brothers are just as crazy.
Get tight! Get tight! Get tight! Now.
They're kids, they're youngsters, joking around always.
Playtime is over when the rest of the barges show up. They've got to hustle to get most of the mortars set up by end of day.
There was no slouching, everybody just grabbing mortars and going for it. They were really hauling them out pretty fast, and it was a little hard to keep up with them at sometimes, you know. Yeah, well, for 2 people, I think it's fine, or else just aiming for getting hurt.
My energy level is probably at 3 out of 10.
Solid.
This one, bud. Canadians, it takes 2 to pick up one of these. Australia, 1. So look, another Australian. One person, not 2.
Getting old, I guess.
And the wild ride
Boats just everywhere. I've never seen so many tugboats in one spot.
hasn't even started.
This is the biggest barge we have. This one we're on and the one that's going through now.
It's a monster job, loading and arming tons of explosives on barges, boats, and an epic bridge on the Bosphorus Strait. Republic Day. Turkey's biggest blast is just 2 days away. Eric and Philippe are well into a backbreaking grind, loading bombs onto the 8 barges.
6 modules per barge, 8 barges, 32 connections, 26 times 8, 208 times 32, 6,656 shells. 7,000 is probably pretty close.
This show was definitely one of the biggest logistical challenges I ever be part of.
So far, the Aussie gang has been hard to impress.
We get that little sense of being looked at as a stranger.
We have to prove ourselves to them and make them trust us in doing the work.
Jono, for one, just can't let up with the jokes.
Do you guys work with Updog in Canada? Do you work with Updog in Canada?
Updog?
Yeah.
What the hell is Updog?
Nothing, man, but thanks for asking.
They'll test you out and maybe pull a few jokes on you and see how you react.
Do you know how at school there's always the class clown?
He just went around every class.
Eric thinks they'll ease up now that they've wrapped for the day.
They test my nerves a little bit, by giving me some exploding cigarette.
It's getting a little old being the butt of the jokes. Time to kick some butt instead. Seb, Mathieu, and Benoit
Jorge
arrive at their other firing site, smack in the middle of a World Heritage City.
We have a small parking lot, and I mean small, on the back of the stage, and that's the closest point where we can shoot fireworks from in this city.
We were shooting close to cars full of gas, with windows at 10 meters that could have been blown away by a low break or an explosion.
Hundreds of bombs will launch a block behind the main stage of the El Cervantino Festival. Seb works with the high-altitude Roman candles.
My job is patching all those candles in this patch box. Quite simple.
It's going to be a squeeze for Mathieu and Benoit, aiming the low-level effects.
Their buildings were really in a closed area, so we cannot go really angled. It was really challenging to decide where we put it and how we put it, in which direction we put it, because there was always something in the angle.
Do I hit this building or do I hit this building?
Jorge is getting set up over at the main stage.
I'm very excited because we are also shooting the show live with the orchestra.
It's also dicey. It's tough enough to sync fireworks with pre-recorded music. But firing to live music without rehearsing is a whole other deal.
So when the music is live, the tempo can move. It starts when it starts. It's not a disc you put play on. So it was a risk.
We are ready for the show. Let's go find Jorge. Vamos.
Jorge was really preoccupied. It was the first time I was seeing him stressed.
He's getting no Wi-Fi signals back from a lot of his modules at both firing sites.
Oh, man.
and he's just hours away from showtime.
Oh, I think we have a problem.
Wow.
In Istanbul, Eric and Philippe are done work for the day and need a little downtime.
As soon as we have a chance to get out and get our minds off fireworks for a little bit, that always feels good.
Turkish ice cream.
I'm gonna do chocolate and vanilla together.
Okay, yes. Make it for us an ice cream show. If you catch green. Thank you.
It's a comedy show too, huh?
Yeah, show. Ice cream show. Thank you.
You got me. I don't know. Nothing.
Well, definitely little experience like buying ice cream in Istanbul make it a lot more fun to get on the barge the day after. A little fun before the storm.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Early next morning, it's back to the flotilla of 8 barges armed to the teeth. Just one part of the epic fireworks show for Republic Day.
All right, so the plan for today is we're going to get all the barges cabled up and tested.
Head honcho, Forge Foti,
Make sense?
hands out the day's marching orders.
We're going to be Andrews on barge 1, Tim's barge 2, Jono's 3. Questions? So you two, yeah, do barge 4, all right?
All right, so barge 4, the wire's up there. Today, Phil and I had the opportunity to test out one of the barges, barge 4. So we need 14 modules.
And a load of cable.
So what we had to do is pull out the modules, attach them to rails, wire it up, and start testing it out.
Time to finish wiring and testing. No one's saying it's a race to the finish.
We're always getting more and more efficient in what we do, so we're looking good. We've got plenty of time, so.
But Eric and Philippe would love to kick some Aussie butt.
A few of these guys had maybe a little bit of something to prove.
At least Eric and Philippe are nicely acquainted with the Fire 1 firing board.
Fire 1's a system I've been using since 1998, actually, so I'm gonna have quite a bit of experience. Same system we use at home. Our confidence level was coming up.
Look at that pretty little drawing.
Oh, yeah. It's so organized.
It's game on.
You're on a pourer.
Eric and Philippe start wiring all the shells to the modules.
Okay, so let's go through every module and together.
Oh.
But when they test the connections, some cues are no-shows on the firing board.
12, 13, 14, 15 is empty.
16. Oh. We got nothing on 16.
16.
So what am I checking?
10, 14 are bad.
It could be a bad connection.
14?
No, 14 is missing.
Still?
Yeah.
Okay, well, I have my little tester here. I'll check them out. 14's good. So there's continuity on the match, but it's not responding on the rail.
Should we panic?
Maybe it's the negative somehow. Because 14 and 10 are plugged in the same. So I'm going to put them back on another negative somewhere else. Okay, let's check it again.
Yeah, it's good.
We noticed that there was a few products missing on the barge. So we pulled out some product, finished that up.
Okay, 10.
Module 3.
It all works, man. It's all the same.
We actually nailed that barge pretty quickly.
So 21 probably isn't there at all.
Yeah. So Rick and I, we were the fastest one, but we know Fire 1 so well. It's just another day in the office.
The cues on their barge are testing 100%. All systems go.
Feeling good.
Yeah, we're in great shape at the moment.
Loving it. Even Forge understood that we know our things. It was just a good day.
If I would have a T-shirt of Fruity, could feel in the gang.
The spirit grows on the barge. The guys, we get to know them. We're becoming friends, actually.
Oh, look at this. Oh, set up. Such a bait.
That's the kind of thing that brings you into a team real quick. Have a good laugh with the boys.
So it's all about the love.
And all of a sudden, they feel more comfortable with you and you with them.
Love your work.
You finally get accepted in the team. Feels good.
Good thing.
Holy, that's a waterfall!
Because up ahead, they've got to pull off one humongous fireworks show.
Piece of cake.
Famous last words.
The barges is a dog's breakfast. That's the problem.
Game day, baby.
Tomorrow is the famous Republic Day fireworks show in Istanbul. Today, the Pyros will arm the 1.5-kilometer-long Bosphorus bridge with thousands of effects.
Yeah, I'm expecting today to be super difficult.
But first, the boss has a surprise for Philippe and Eric. Foti crew t-shirts.
Real Australian sweat.
We're a part of the boys, and we can just play all together and win the game.
Appreciation. Yeah. I went through it already.
The bridge spans the Bosphorus Strait, connecting two continents.
It's quite an interesting place to do a show, you know, the link between Europe and Asia. It's a big thing for people of Istanbul, this bridge.
All right, so we've got 38 positions. We're going to do this side first.
The plan: fire candles, cakes, and one-shots off the bridge, and create one of the world's longest pyro waterfalls. It's a welcome change from the barges.
Yeah, the energy's better, man. So it's good, it's different. Makes it change the paint a bit.
But it's a big job on a windy day.
You have to get your product out there, spread it out over a huge distance.
This bridge is a lot of work, and hopefully we can get it all done in one day.
Forge, Jono, and the rest of the Foti family are masters at turning bridges into giant pyro launch pads.
Especially in Australia, we've done Sydney Harbour Bridge for 12, 13 years, plus bridges in Brisbane and in Perth.
But the Bosphorus Bridge beats them all.
This bridge here, it's a big-ass bridge, really.
There's the start. We got it right here.
Oh, easy.
And they're going to attempt a big-ass waterfall effect. That's one of the longest in the world.
All right, let's go.
We don't get to do these huge waterfalls too much. 650 meters. It's supposed to go down at least 70 meters down to the water. Pretty impressive.
Too much? Tighter.
Holy that's a waterfall.
Easy. It goes like forever, man. Or if the wind picks up, it'll be going that way.
If these 80-kilometer winds don't let up, Forge's design could literally go sideways.
Yeah, it's the end of 650 meters. You know that those fireworks will just look amazing when they light up.
Tomorrow, it's all hands on deck for show day.
There we are, man.
2 hours before showtime at the El Cervantino Festival in Guanajuato, Mexico. And the boys from GFA are starting to sweat.
Uh-oh, I think we have a problem.
I don't know. It's an interference problem.
Yes.
The Wi-Fi signal can't lock in on some of the connecting modules at the two remote firing sites. That means over 1/3 of the effects are missing from Jorge's show.
If we couldn't resolve the communication problem at this time, we would have to shoot manually with Jorge on cell phone telling us, okay, shoot.
That would make it impossible to fire in sync with the live music.
That would have been a real nightmare.
I think we should put it
very on the top.
Okay.
They try raising the transceiver to boost the signal with the firing sights.
One more zip tie and then it's done. Okay.
Now it's working.
You have a show? Olé!
The fireworks must start on the last piece of music. Jorge has to fire his fireworks manually in perfect sync with the orchestra.
If I get late on the cue, all the section is going to be late.
Nervous a little bit? Shaking?
Oh, yeah?
Shaking.
A block behind the stage, Sebastian and Mathieu are on fire watch at the downtown firing site.
It's going to be our position for tonight for the show.
We're in the parking lot, just 5 meters away from the fireworks.
If there is a low break, a bomb will explode at a low level. Be prepared to run.
If there was any problem, we had to say to Jorge to stop.
We're just a few seconds from the beginning now.
Yep.
Well, that's the call we have.
Maybe it's a 10-minute song, then.
I was very nervous. I tried to keep an eye on the director to see when he was going to start the piece of music. That's my kickoff for me to start everything. If I miss that cue, that will be a big problem. As soon as the show started, we know that everything is working.
Wow! What's the
position on the top of the hill? I can't see it. That was very stressing because you want to go and see, but you have a clock to follow.
The fireworks were coming and we had to duck because it was coming all around us.
Holy! Just close our head.
And at the same time, we had to look if everything was okay. That wasn't the safest place to be. But we had a nice view.
It was crazy, but fun.
The Pyros pushed the limits, and it paid off.
We are alive, man.
I like this job.
Yeah. It was just perfect.
Mission accomplished. Time to go home.
It's the calm before the firestorm in Istanbul. Today is Republic Day, when a barrage of fireworks is set to detonate across the Turkish city.
The size of the show, the logistics, the distance, just made it one of the most impressive shows I've worked on.
The 8 barges loaded to the gunnels with pyro are ready to go. Now 8 boats join the fireworks flotilla.
It's a nice sight this morning to see a parade of 8 of these boats coming in. Those are going to finish off the bridge effects really nicely because the bridge firing from way up high and the boats from underneath.
Canadians Eric.
So what kid is this? Anywhere. 4.
And Philippe, and the Foti crew from Oz load over 600 more shells onto the backs of the boats.
Pretty exciting stuff today. I mean, it's show day. It's been a long setup, and we finally get to that day where we're going to get to shoot it. We're lucky to be here on one of the world's largest shows. Okay, so module 3 is done.
Now the real fun begins, towing the 8 barges to their holding area. up one of the busiest waterways in the world.
Hey, guys, they're orientating them the wrong way. No. Just madness out there. Undo.
Amazing. Holy boats just everywhere. I've never seen so many tugboats in one spot.
It's like a dance, huh? They're all in movement, trying to avoid to hit each other. You're gonna hit me.
Here we go, hold on. Yeah.
All right, off we go.
Eric and Phil jump on Jono's barge. Playtime is over. The bombs are on the move. Jono's all business.
Jono was definitely fun to work with, but also a serious guy. He knows his fireworks well. This is where the fun part begins.
Up ahead, the first bridge to squeeze under.
Yeah, we see, look at that barge over there. It looks like it's going all sideways. Pretty small bridges. The passageways are quite tight.
This is the biggest barge we have. This one we're on and the one that's going through now.
It's like threading a needle while being pounded by powerful currents. Their barge is up next.
Oh, here we go. Bit of pong.
Fine.
Oh, yeah.
Easy.
One by one, the 8 barges squeeze under the bridges. This is the barge parking lot for now.
Best parking ever, dude.
In a couple of hours, they'll move everything back out into firing position.
This has worked out really well. They should just be able to come up, pick us up from there and just zoom on out.
All right, Jonathan, have a good show.
Thanks very much.
Breaking late.
It's all smiles now.
Yeah, looks good.
We will.
Can you get boats to go back into their positions, please?
But soon, Jono's going to find himself right in the line of fire.
Duck, 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 duck.
3 hours and counting before one of the world's biggest fireworks shows.
Yeah, you could say it was a bit blowy.
Forge Foti is a pyro kingpin and bridge specialist. He's up on Istanbul's Bosphorus bridge, hoping wind gusts won't blow away his show.
Yeah, the wind's sort of picked up a bit. Well, they say it'll die down in the next hour or so hopefully it will. And we'll get through the show without any major dramas.
Exactly what's on the mind of Jono, the young pyro ace in charge of Barge 3.
Barge 3 receiving 2, 1, 0. Realistically, there shouldn't be any problems during the show.
The time code signal is coming through loud and clear. It'll control thousands of effects on the barges, boats, and bridge. Now it's just a matter of waiting for Forge's signal to move the barges into final position. Nightfall. Eric and Philippe's job setting up is done. Now the Canadians can enjoy a rare chance to see their work from front row seats.
We're heading to the Bosphorus Bridge where this show's gonna happen.
That's gonna be good.
Hey, man.
I can't believe we found you. This is good.
Forge's brother, Robert Foti, has flown in from Hong Kong just for this show.
Pumping, huh? Oh, man. This is good. Oh, man, this is it. We can feel the hype now. We're getting excited about this.
Here we are, man. Fortunato, boat number 3, just checking to see if you're online. The barges are getting now ready to move into position. So that'll probably take them a good part of 45 minutes, I suppose.
But Jono is still stuck dockside in the middle of a last-minute change.
These are the wires that go to our modules on the tugboat. It's the wire that sends the information to all the modules on the barge to fire the show. So it's obviously pretty critical. Because we're not butted right up to the tug, there's this big gap and the water's really choppy, so we're just trying to keep it as safe as possible. Which I don't think it is there, so I'm going to move it again. But we're off, so that's a good thing.
His barge is on the move, but he's still fighting the cable.
Yeah, I just don't want to give it too much so that if it doesn't squeeze up, I'm just going to chop straight through the cables. It's a little bit concerning.
None of the shells on Jono's barge will fire if the cable gets broken.
See this gap? If that gets chopped, yeah, bad. Now they're doing my job for me. Oh, through there? Yeah? They're working out better ways of doing it. So we're going to feed the cable through the exhaust in the roof. Enough? Excellent, thank you. That was their idea. I might just take the night off. I'll let them take care of everything. We're 10 minutes out now, and it's a bit of last-minute stress, but you just have to deal with it.
Boat number 3, you're way off centre.
Forge watches over the parade of 16 barges and boats from the bridge deck.
It's an absolute debacle up here.
And he doesn't like what he sees.
I'm sure the barges are supposed to be 300 metres apart. They're like 100, and some of them almost next to each other. The barges is the dog's breakfast. That's the problem.
Jono, you need to go further towards the palace, and
you need to come closer to
the port.
We're going back?
Apparently there's a strong current at the moment, so the tugs are having a bit of an issue trying to get them into position.
The radio gone pretty wild because obviously there's 16 other people trying to coordinate 16 other positions.
6 and 7 are still 50 metres apart.
It's now more or less pitch black, so to try and discern a barge from the rest of the water, it's a bit difficult.
Even from the shore, Philippe and Eric can see the barges are out of whack.
Yeah, they seem like not in the middle, they seem further away. Bosphorus River is too deep and too much current for them to anchor each barge, so the barges are actually held in position by the tugboats.
At least that's the theory.
So now the current is really beating us around. We've twisted 90 degrees, for sake.
And the Aussies are almost out of time.
All right, listen everybody, so this is what it is now with the barges and the boats. Because the mayor's speaking, we've got about 2 minutes to show.
Get ready to receive time code. Ports to all barges, from 1 to 8, are you ready to start firing if need be?
Barge 1.
In Istanbul, 16 boats and barges, armed with 7,000 bombs, just waiting to fire.
Boat number 3.
Barge 3 ready to go.
But the violent currents of the Bosphorus Strait are turning this into a gong show.
We've twisted 90 degrees.
Jono can't keep his barge in line.
It was nobody's fault, you know, the current was too strong and that they were not able to position the barge according to the main plan.
Barges are supposed to be 300 metres apart, they're like 100, and some of them almost next to each other.
That's the problem.
But the Pyros are out of time.
Barges aren't in position, we just have to go the way they are.
Finally, the show that everyone is waiting for.
That thing lit up, I mean, wow.
definitely the most beautiful waterfall I ever saw.
Time for the barge fireworks to let fly.
First shell's a big 8-inch. 3, 2, brace yourself. Yeah!
Jono, is all barges going over?
Yes, barges are all firing forward.
The aquatics just went. Oh, yeah. It's beautiful.
It's looking pretty good at the moment.
Jono thinks he can finally relax. But Forge isn't happy.
Yeah, Jono, you're in the wrong position, mate. You need to move towards John.
Let's go. Start way.
The current has shoved Jono's boat too close to barge 2. Suddenly, a bomb from barge 2 explodes too low.
Something's flying this way. Down. Give me a down water shell.
Seconds.
What? No.
Burning pyro debris from the nearby barge starts a fire.
It's fine. I'll put it out. No, don't worry. You can't stress out about things here and there. A few little things happening, but it's a crazy show. It's just what it is.
The Republic Day fireworks are over.
Whoa, man. That's awesome. You stay here, please.
Except for a little cleanup here and there. But there will be bigger fires to put out.
It's gone. It's all.